Hello snowboarders of the internet, I am your host TC and this is Top 5s, the only weekly top 5 show in snowboarding that you come to see which boards are going to hold up to all of that park abuse that you're going to throw them through. On today's episode we're going to be talking about the top 5 best park boards for the 25-26 season. If you're interested in any of these boards, feel free to click that affiliate link down below and that way you know you're getting the best deal possible online. Number 5, the K2 Medium. And this thing is great in the park. I would say it's definitely that power jib board where when I say that, I mean you're gonna just end up having to throw a little bit extra into this board. But if you're a competent jib or rail rider, you know that this board is gonna be great for you. So it does have a nice snappy tail to it. But when you do get it on rails, it's gonna require a little bit more to lock in. But don't fear, once you get that rail game down, this board is amazing for it. When you're sliding it sideways, it's got just enough give to really cradle that rail, but not enough to really just absolutely engulf the rail and pretty much just take all the skill out of it. You're still gonna need to really kind of pay attention to what you're doing. Same with when you're just tail pressing or nose pressing on a rail or a ledge. You're gonna have to lock it in and kind of focus on what you're doing. When you take it to the jump line, it'll handle anything to that small to that medium jump line where you can pop it, get a little extra oomph out of it, and just really have a good time in the air. I really wouldn't worry about it too much on the large side. It'll handle it, but it's not gonna handle it the best. But as I mentioned before, it's just that power jib board. Number 4 is the Salomon Huck Knife Pro. This board really excels in the park, really off of those large jumps, the half pipe, and just pretty much the large jib line as well, where this thing, you're gonna wanna come in with speed and you're gonna wanna pop. It just makes it that much better. Sure, you can let the lip do the work, but in my personal experience, I always have a better time popping it. Well, I shouldn't say always. For the most part, I have a better time popping it, and this thing is no exception there. It will pop to the moon. And it's got really good edge hold. So when you are going up to the lip and you want to spin that thing, you can trust that that back tail edge is gonna hold for you and not just totally fold. This board is gonna require more work when you are jibbing, so just keep that in mind. Speed is definitely gonna be your friend, especially getting this thing to lock in. It just helps to come in a little bit hotter. Number 3 is the Nidecker Sensor Team. I absolutely love this board. It is pretty much, I think, in my opinion, the best board out of the whole sensor line, where it's a nice mixture of pretty much all of them is what it feels like, where it's not overly stiff, it's not too soft. It feels, honestly, it's like that Three Little Bears where it just feels just right, where you can still press on it. You're gonna have to just put in a little extra work there, but where I had the best time with this board was off that medium jump line. It can handle the large line, but you guys know me, I got nothing to prove anymore, so the medium line is where I like to live, and this board was great on it. You can let the lip do the work or pop it and just get that little extra bit of oomph out of it, which was absolutely amazing in my book. This thing feels super stompy when you're landing, so even pretty much if you're just like me, when I rode it, I had a big old hole in the landing because it was pretty much after all the tourists left and they just left the park a total mess. And this thing just pushed right through it. It doesn't feel super catchy when you're spinning off a jump. So even if you do pre-spin, it's gonna let you do that. It's gonna not just correct you instantly and throw you to the ground. It is a little bit of that forgiving factor to it where it's not going to be crazy aggressive. You do get a little bit extra play there, which is great, especially when you're not the most competent park rider out there. You're trying to grow into one. This is a great board for you. While I have you here, you might as well like, subscribe, click that bell, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our scheduled programming. Number 2, the Yes Shifter Extreme. This board is great for just pretty much all around park, but really shines when you're getting it into the jibbing and to those smaller jumps where the small and medium line are where it really wants to shine and pretty much live. This board is on the softer side of things, but has a great snap to it. So even though it's not just crazy camber from contact point to contact point, you do have a little bit of a flat section and some 3D in the base. Don't be scared off by that. This board is really fun. You can easily press this thing, butter it around without any issues of, is it gonna catch? Is it gonna just throw me to the ground? It won't. it handles that really well, and that directly translates into the rail section as well, where it does have that flat section in the nose and the tail. So when you are going to press on rails with this board, it gives you a little bit more surface area to work with rather than it just going straight camber to 3D section. So this board does definitely rip up the park. I would definitely say that mini shred or that jib section is where this thing is really going to shine. But man, can I just tell you right now, it is super fun. Honorable mentions. Remember, these are all great options for ripping the park up, but they just weren't able to crack our top 5 this year. The first honorable mention is the Capita Stairmaster. I know some of you older guys definitely remember this board, but for you young folk out there, this thing has been around for a while and they just decided to bring it back this year. So it is pretty much the same board as it was before, just with a slightly new construction, giving it a little bit more durability and just keeping it just as fun as it was in the past, where this thing definitely excels in the jibbing section, where it's gonna max out on that medium line. If you try to take it past that, you better be a very skilled rider. Otherwise, it's not gonna be able to hold up for you as well. The one thing I will say about this board is when you go to initiate a turn, whether that be with the nose or the tail, it does grab pretty aggressively. So it might not be for everybody, but once you master that, it feels amazing out there. The second honorable mention is going to be the Rome Boneless. Very similar to the Stairmaster, where it's definitely for that progressing rider, where this thing jibs really nicely, where it does have enough camber to it, so it will cradle the rail but not totally get clapped out around it, and you're just pretty much standing on it with the nose and tail touching the ground. It's got a little bit more rigidity than that. And when you're tail pressing on this thing, it does have some rods in the nose and the tail, so you can engage those once you're fully locked in on that press, and it will snap you out really nicely. I'll say this board is definitely maxing out at that 20-foot pretty much jump line mark, where if you're a competent rider, you can do it. It's not going to be the most comfortable thing out there, but it will handle it. But this board is definitely for those progressing riders. And the final honorable mention is the Libtech Rad Ripper. It might be the most aggressive board on this list, but it's still on the list for good reason, because this thing absolutely destroys the jump line and the half pipe. This board just wants to be in the air with every ounce of its strength, and it is so much fun to get it in the air. Not the most user-friendly, especially for those progressing rail riders, but if you're a competent rail rider, you'll be able to rip this thing no problem. Just note that it wants to be in the air, so popping off of those rails are definitely going to be your best play there, just because that's what it wants to do. That tail wants to load up and really spring you out, and it's going to return that. So when you do make it to the jump line, just know your first few times on it, you're probably gonna end up just overshooting that jump unless you have the perfect speed, because this board has got serious pop to it. Remember, these are all great options for park boards. They just weren't able to crack our top 5 this year. If you're looking for another way to get involved in the Angry Snowboarder community, head on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. What is it, you might ask? Sure, I could explain it here, but as you guys already know, we have a great video over there getting into it really in depth. And the number 1 park board for the 25-26 season is the Capita Super DOA. This is one of my favorite boards just in general, but this board absolutely destroys the park. You do have a softer nose and tail on this thing, and a little bit more rigidity throughout the center of the board, making it nice and a little bit more user-friendly to press and butter on, but then it gives you all of that snap coming from the middle of your feet. So if you need to ollie a slow sign over a fence, over some fat skier family out there, you can totally do that without any problems. And it is going to be a little bit more aggressive when you're board sliding on this thing because of how much carbon's in it. This board kind of stores up that energy a little bit more. Don't fear, after your first couple times sliding it sideways, you're gonna be totally comfortable on it. After that, it's like pretty much a second thought, or at least it is to me. But I absolutely love this thing. Take it to the large line, take it to the super pipe, take it wherever you're the most comfortable, and it's gonna handle it for you. If you're not the best park rider out there, you can still get this board and progress with it, where it's not overly aggressive like some other boards are out there, where it's going to totally kick your ass and you're not going to be ready for it. This one's definitely more user friendly, and that's why it's number 1 on our list. I've been your host TC, and this has been the top 5 best park boards for the 25-26 season. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what boards you're gonna be ripping in the park this year, and hell, maybe some of them actually made the list. If not, better luck next year.